That's what we are talking on, sir.
Mixology.
Yes, we have. And what I wanted to talk about is I feel like social media. I love social media. It's the best thing that's happened to humanity since penicillin. This is my take. But I also think that it's created this false narrative of business and running a business. Why are you laughing?
Why am I laughing? I don't know, because, yeah, penicillin is used for many things.
Isn't that a saying? The
What?
best thing since penicillin or something like that?
Well, it could be. I've never heard that, actually.
Really?
Anyway, what I have heard is the best resurrection since Lazarus, but that was Arsenal.
Wow. That was an unnecessary shot, but it was good. I'll take it. The best resurrection since Lazarus. 22 years later, you came back from the dead.
Anyway.
Do you think AI is going to take our jobs?
Do I think AI is going to take our jobs? Look, so I think AI, I think technology is changing fast. I think we're naive if we don't. And I think, like anything, is that the world changes.
Mm-hmm.
Will AI create a whole lot of new jobs? Sure, it will.
Mm-hmm.
New opportunities, new thinking. Yeah. I will it take our jobs? I don't know. It depends on what our jobs mean. Will people lose? Will there be stuff replaced because of AI? Most definitely. Will other things be created because of AI? Most definitely.
Yeah.
So the question is can we adapt? Are we moving? Are we shifting? Are we thinking about where we're going?
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this whole, I just told you about it, but like this debate between boring businesses versus AI businesses?
Boring businesses versus... Yeah, well, so it's interesting is, like, I look at businesses, and when we were talking about it, you said boring businesses, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, there's certain businesses that will keep operating. Will they utilize AI? Yes. Well, like for various reasons, but will AI take over the business? I don't think so. And there's other businesses that AI will become predominant. You know, I mean, I don't know. In our business, in training and coaching, is there a possibility that AI could take over a lot of what we do? Yes. You want to get information on how to do A, B, and C and start your business and do a business plan and do all this sort of stuff. You do it now. You go into AI and you can get everything done. But then you still got to think, and you still got to apply, and you still got to put it into practice. You still got to do all the work. So, and then the reality is how are you going to shift? So, boring businesses. Like I don't know. Someone said to me, I mean, I read an article the other day that someone said that, if we want to sort out our transport problems in South Africa or in Joburg, then we should get driverless vehicles.
In Johannesburg, South Africa.
Jump.
This country, this city. That thing you're gonna be a pile up just of potholes. I'm sorry, you didn't say that. Okay, so continue. You can't just say random jokes.
No. So, and it got me thinking, is like, yeah, in an ideal world, sure. But when you do that, then there's so many other ramifications. There's so many other things that come in.
Yeah.
Then what happens to the guys that are the taxi drivers that are driving at the moment? I mean,
what happens to the people who use taxis?
Well, they'll jump in the driverless taxis.
Oh, so the taxi's also going to be driverless.
Well, that's
vehicles.
That was the not okay. Vehicles, driverless. So the guy was saying, how do you solve, the problems with driving and taxis and all that sort of stuff, and people driving with, not driving correctly and
yes.
And he was like, we should have driverless taxis. And immediately I was like, sure, in an ideal world. But the problem is one, what does it affect? It affects jobs, lives,
Yeah.
incomes. Also, the other thing is, the other side of it is, goodness me, can you imagine? Can you imagine people, standing in the way of those driverless taxis? Goodness me,
It's game over.
when Uber came in, look at all the issues around Uber, and that's people. So all that sort of stuff, and I think, those are the type of things that they all have other ramifications, other things spin off them that we've got to be aware of.
Mm.
You know,
And I think that's kind of the one thing that we're not aware of, right? Is the ramif. Yes, AI is here. It's great. It's awesome. We utilize it in our business. How I utilize it pretty much every day. But I've now, like we've spoken about before, sometimes I realize, oh damn, I can't even actually spell anymore. Like I can't, because
well,
now I can go voice into ChatGPT, for example. I don't have to type it.
my fear with AI is that the world's going to become even more stupid.
I don't think we can though.
No, I think we can. Well, it's hard, silly, but I think maybe we can, because I mean, as technology is going, people are becoming lazier and lazier and lazier
For
in
sure.
terms of thinking.
Yes.
That you get that. So in terms of thinking, I mean, you just look at how people communicate just on cell phones, and the inability, or the deterioration of communication skills and the ability to speak and articulate and do all that. And that's my concern, is that people will just, we'll dumb ourselves down even more.
And I mean, that's got to
And
be tough in
because
business.
you go, do me this, and it gets done. Whereas our brains are designed to create, to think, to solve. I believe that's the power that God has given us, is this creative mind.
No, and I mean, I think that's got to be the tough part then in business, right? Because if I can go into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever and put in a whole presentation for you guys, this is it. I've done it. It looks awesome. You look at it, you go, great. How does this work? How does this function? I can't answer that.
Yeah. So, well, I think that's also the thing that's going to come. So you watch people now, you see it now. People go in, they get a CV done by
Yeah.
ChatGPT. This is who I am. They do all the prompts, da 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 da, and then you interview them, and you're like, okay, the person that I'm interviewing is not the person who the CV is about, because one, all the telltale sign, they don't actually understand what's being said in the CV when you ask them the questions, and so I think that's going to create a lot of, you still got to think, you still got to connect, you still got to be you. People are still going to connect with other beings, and the less you want to connect with other beings, the more reclusive you're going to become, the more out of society. And for me, I think, one of the areas that we teach and that we help, is human to human connection.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that, and you've heard me say this many times, that in the next decade, people that can really connect with people, uh, through verbal communication, through emotional communication, through being able to connect, verbally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in terms of understanding other people, really understanding and connecting with other people, will be a very, very big requirement, and it will be many people will just. That's getting. I mean, you even see it now. It's getting worse and worse and worse. People to connect with other people, and to really understand how other people are feeling and thinking. And there's a massive disconnection because of technology. And I mean, people are disconnected with themselves.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We see it all the time. People are very absent from themselves. They're not connected to themselves. They're not connected to their emotions. They're not connected to their spirits. They operate in their head. And you listen to what some people are saying, and you're like, did you actually think about that? Did you think about what you just said? Did you think about? And so I think, someone said to me yesterday, the problem is that, you know, like, on social media, and, is you start following certain things, and then it starts creating your feed, and then over a period of time, AI really understands your feed, so you get fed all the things that you're interested in. And a lot of times you're getting bits and bytes, you're getting 1 minute of stuff, and then you're making a huge informed decision on something that you actually haven't tracked or followed up or
Yep.
followed through on or done the research or anything like that, and creating massive types of opinions, and then sometimes it's nonsense. You know,
Would you say that based off what you said around your view of the next decade, that the next decade would actually belongs to the people who can understand technology, utilize technology, but still be able to connect human to human?
I think they're going to be different things, Sully. I think you're going to have technical people that will be very happy to lock themselves away in a room and use technology to create whatever they're going to create. And then you're going to have the people that are going to bridge the gap,
Okay.
to connect people to people and be able to understand that. You know, for me, I come back to this. We're still human beings.
Yeah.
And AI largely is allowing us to do things more efficiently, but not be. What's being? Being is emotional and spiritual.
Yeah.
Maybe AI will be able to, over time, duplicate emotions, but this is just my belief. I don't believe AI will ever duplicate spirit. It's an unseen. How do you duplicate something that's
Can't see or
unseen?
touch.
You can really explain anger and that sort of, but even then, what levels of anger, and so when it comes to the real being of people, we're still human beings. You're still going to connect to human beings, and that's the ultimate connection. And the more we lose that, those people that become really good at that level of effective communication from being to being, I think will bridge a massive gap. That's just my take. Maybe it's BS.
With your takes, do you think that businesses then, I mean, because I'm definitely seeing a lot more businesses moving towards upskilling people around AI versus upskilling people in terms of their being. Do you think that we're kind of missing a trick there by combining the two, doing both?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing I was working with a client over the past week, and I was talking about personal development. I mean, a huge part of everything we do is personal development. And someone came to me afterwards and said, you said you've been working on yourself for a long time. I said, yeah. I said, what does that mean? And and I explained personal development. I explained processing. I explained, unpacking my conditioning, and, acknowledging why I act the way I act, and why I do what I do, and then being conscious of making decisions on whether I want to behave like that or don't want to behave like that, and then the ability over time to change. And he was like, well, how do you do that? And I said, well, it's the conscious process, but there's lots of different things that you can do, but you consciously go through the journey of changing yourself. And I think what really became apparent is people talk a lot around personal development, but many people really do not understand what it is to change yourself.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because we're such a skills-driven world. School is all about learn this, do this, do this, do this. You go to work, you do. But yes, people talk about personal development, talk about changing mindset, but is there really that? I think there's a huge lack of understanding of what that really, really means in terms of the journey to grow yourself, the journey to grow your emotional and spiritual being, so that you can become a bigger person. Not that you can be, because that allows you to do things more effectively. What you do what you do is take it to sales. I've been selling for 33 years. I've done the same thing for 33 years. Yes, technology has changed and tools have changed and the products I've sold have changed and that, but the process of selling has been the same.
Yeah.
Go out, find people that are looking, that need what I have, or find people that have problems, and helping them solve it, and for an exchange of money. That's
stuff.
that's the game. Okay. So, so what I do is what I do. Yes, I've improved my skills. I've got better at communication. I've got better at asking questions, connecting with people, all the skills. I've worked on the skills because the skills you have to work on. But the biggest growth that I have is in me, because the size of your being determines the size of the game you can play. Whether you're closing R1,000 deal or R100,000 deal or R1,000,000 deal, the process of closing is the same. But it's the size of your being, your level of confidence, your everything that goes with you that allows you to be able to play at that size of game. And it's the same for leadership. It's the same for running a business. You run a business, employ 5 people.
Yeah.
Employing 100 people, you still have to go through the process of making sure that everyone is accountable, do all that sort of stuff. But 100 people bring 100 more problems, which means you have to be a lot bigger to be able to handle the issues that come with it, and management teams and all that. So, yeah, so I just, for me, I think that's a key component going forward into the future, is really working on who you are. And the bigger you are, the more heat and pressure you can handle, the more you'll be able to handle change. The less you're working on yourself, the less you're going to be able to handle the change.
You know what's interesting? I think, and maybe it's the algorithms that I'm on, but I'm actually seeing less and less people in the personal development space. Like I'm seeing less teachers and trainers in the that are talking about being and mindset and all of that. They still exist, but now all of them are either teaching LinkedIn or they're teaching AI or they're teaching something different.
I think we've spoken about it. One of the things that I notice is that many people in our industry move to the next best thing.
Yeah.
And then become the next best guru of the next best thing. I've been in the personal development space for 20 years since I met Blair Singer. And that's, yes, I teach sales. Yes, I teach business. But I believe the core fundamental of everything we do, it comes back to us because we do it.
What do you mean?
Well, we do it. But our ability to be. You want to create wealth, it comes from you. You want to connect with people, it comes from you. You want to build a business, building a business. Yes, you can use the tools and technologies.
Yes.
Okay, great. But I mean, my pet hate are these frigging companies that are using AI and robots to phone you to ask you if you want to buy their product. Just for me, purely just for me, I will not on principle buy from any of those people. I just will not, because why would I want to bloody connect with someone that's not someone?
Yeah, true.
And then they bother you.
It keeps coming.
They bother you. It's all profit driven. I get it. You got to make profit in your business. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But the whole thing is profit driven. There is no connection. There is no, goodness me. So now just to drive business, now I'm going to have some robotic person. I mean, I could do that.
Oh,
we sell books.
Please.
We sell books right now. We could create that, give them our whole database.
Yeah.
And get them to phone and say, we have a special on our books, Boom. Put down.
Oh no, we can. You have a time frame of 2 minutes to make the call. This is what it is. This is the script.
Why would you want to friggin' buy a book?
You wouldn't.
So as soon as I hear those things, I just go out of here. But the sad part is so yes, I understand why those things are used. Yes, I understand call centers are tough. And yes, I understand managing people, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, but at the end of the day, you asked, it comes back to personal development. The size of the game you want to play. When the shit hits the fan in your business, when the shit hits the fan in your life, are you big enough to handle it?
Yeah, because I mean, you can put that into any AI and it will tell you what you need to do.
Oh, correct. How do I handle a tough situation?
Yeah.
This
is what you need to do.
Here's your 17 steps.
Are you going to actually do it, though?
Well, when it comes to do it,
are you going to do it?
Or what? AI is going to suddenly jump in your head and get you through the fear?
Really not.
I don't know. You have a fear of heights.
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah. So you and me.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go bungee jumping this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we're going to put into our AI, tell us what the best way is to bungee jump. How can we keep ourselves as safe as possible? And how do we overcome the fear of bungee jumping? Okay, great. So we do that. We read it. Ooh.
Informed.
I still got to stand on the friggin' edge and jump off.
Jump, dude.
What? AI is now going to put itself in my head and go, don't worry, buddy.
You got this.
So you still have to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to be the person that can get through that fear.
Yeah.
In order to jump.
I actually saw a video a while ago.
I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway,
it does. I saw a video a while ago, and it was basically about the new world, right? So a guy goes to a coffee shop, and he sees an old friend, and he goes onto his phone to find out how to say hi to his old friend, and it's ChatGPT. And now they're both communicating through ChatGPT in the sense of they type the thing in, gives them the response, they respond. And then only later does he realize, oh, damn, I'm on ChatGPT free. So eventually the responses are going to run out. And he looks at his phone and he's like, and he turns around and he walks off because he can't communicate with him. He doesn't know. ChatGPT guided him through the whole conversation and now it's done. And when I saw that, I was like, man.
That is just such a good example of being stupid.
Yeah.
And using and being fake.
Yes.
I actually, now you say it, I think it's going to make people even more fake than they are in the world at the moment. I mean, how many people are so fake now because of social media, pretending to be someone they're not?
There's people who lie about using ChatGPT. You can see it. They're like, no, I didn't do this on ChatGPT. And you're like, I can just be honest, man. Like, it's okay. We all use it. Why lie? And then for me, that's already messing with your being because you're lying.
I mean, we were chatting about it the other day, and I said to you, one of the things about ChatGPT, use it to make you more efficient.
Yeah.
But make sure that you understand what's there. Make sure that you're reading through it and that it connects to the context of what you do, and that it's, for me, when I use it, so I'll construct I'll construct everything I want, and then I'll say,
conceptualize,
or check through it.
Yeah.
Tell me what's missing. Is there anything that type of stuff? But the thinking come from my head in terms of where I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I utilize this better? I like to do the pressure testing because I like, can you pressure test this thing that I created? Where's the gaps? Even for our podcast, I'm like, where could I tighten this up? Where could I tighten that up? How could I make this better? How could I make that better?
Yeah, well, then the problem, that's all great, but the problem is then you bring me in and then you're stuffed.
No, 100% all the time. All the reviews I get back is Barry spoke too much. No, I'm joking. But I think that's actually for me, because, for example, I may not be able to sit down with you and go through the whole podcast, right? You don't have a freaking hour to sit with me and go through the podcast and go, oh, shit, we could have fixed the chair. We could have fixed the chair. We could have.
But I'm not interested in doing that.
Exactly.
Because the deal is this is you and me having a chat with people that are listening to us and hopefully speaking from our experience and our thoughts,
a real perspective
to help people. Is it scripted? Definitely not. Very often we'll sit down. In fact, I've just flown in from out of the country this morning and came in, sat down, said, right, we scheduled our podcast. What are we going to talk on today?
Here we are.
And that's what we're talking on.
Yep.
So yeah, it's about, if there's, like, I know that you go into ChatGPT and say, get some good talking points and some questions. That's brilliant, because
of course
you bring up the stats and you say, research this, did this, brilliant. But what's your thought on it? That's my thought. That's my opinion. Some people are going to agree with my opinion, disagree with that's okay. And guess what? Maybe in 2 weeks' time, my opinion's changed because I've learned something else. Who will do another podcast on AI and that, and I'll go, hey, I learned something else. I went there. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago we spoke about this, and actually I've changed my mind.
Yeah, I have a new viewpoint on it.
Yeah.
Because
that's real for me. That's real perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm an AI expert, or the other side of it is sound like I'm an AI basher. You know what I mean? I don't want to, and I think every single episode that we do, I don't want to pretend in anything. I literally, as you said, if I'm researching something, it's a talking point, it's something I heard, something I read, and I went, ooh, how do I frame this to Barry so I can get his perspective, right? Because as you said, somebody may be watching this or listening to this and goes, man, I never thought about it like that. Let me try that. So, for example, one of the things that we always speak about is people read books, watch podcasts, go to seminars, do all the stuff. Very informed. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Then you come here and you say you're a smart, stupid person. Awesome that you did all that work, but you never implemented anything. So what's the point?
100%.
And somebody might go, the one person may actually go, oh, that's actually me. Let me go implement that one thing that I learned.
Yeah.
And that's a game changer. And my take is that no level of technology can change you from doing that.
Well, I mean,
My take.
you can get the whole plan on how to get fit, for example, from ChatGPT. We still got to get your lazy ass in the gym or lazy ass on the road, or you still got to go do it. And it's in the doing it that you're going to hit the emotion and the fear and the pain and everything else that comes with it. And that's really that's the growth. That is why that's the joy of being a human being. You know,
how many? I mean, because you've got a few clients around the continent at the moment.
Yeah.
How many of them are you seeing running to AI technology, that type of
I
stuff?
think all of them are using AI to some degree or other, Sully. You know, in terms of their businesses, in terms of business analytics, in terms of market analysis,
Interesting.
in terms of speed. You know, when you take a concept, you create a concept. I mean, if I'm facilitating, for example, you know, I'm facilitating a strategy with a client. We can say, okay, so this is what we want to do. Let's put it into ChatGPT, for example, and give us some of the answers that, or pressure test or test our thinking, or, you know, ask this, so that, yeah. So I think, yeah, all the clients I'm working with everywhere are using it to some degree or other, some to a much bigger degree than others. But yeah, most people that I see are using it to become a lot more efficient, because let's face it, does speed up your efficiency.
Oh yeah.
You know, I want to write a new ebook. What do? Well, in my typical fashion, I will speak the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if I take that whole thing and I speak the whole thing, then I can put it into ChatGPT, for example, and say, please take everything I've spoken in this chapter, and I prompt it to clean it up. I don't prompt it to change the words or change everything or add something else. So then it cleans it up. So it's exactly the same as me, for example, going on to Fiverr, sending it to someone and said, I've transcribed this, please edit it.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
This I can get done now.
Yes.
You know, I go on to Fiverr, which I've done before in my other books, and I go into Fiverr and get that. Now I get it back, and now I can work with it and then add in more content that I want and do that sort of stuff. What's the power? I mean, I've just done it now. It's a book that I'm writing at the moment. In the middle of writing, I was going, I want to do a little bit of research on Gilbert Enoka, for example. And so I type in, please tell me something about Gilbert Enoka, and da, and what are some of his great quotes. Now I could have done that on Google.
It would have still been an AI, I think. It would have still been Gemini.
It's all the same. Does that make sense? Whether I use ChatGPT or Floyd, Lloyd, or I don't know.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we do know other AI platforms, just so you know, because I just feel like, you know, we're gonna get those commentators who are like, oh, you guys are just talking about ChatGPT. We know the others. We're just using the one as a reference because it's easier.
So now I put it in there while I'm writing, and it pops it up, and then I go, oh, okay, thank you. Now I still go and check. Is it true? And like, if it says wrote this book, I'll go find the book, and does that make sense? And also, because I've read his book, that's what I'm referencing to. But in my world, it gives me the ability to be a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know, if I use it, if I have a new contract with a client, for example, and they send me an NDA or a contract, I can then upload that agreement into AI and say, please look through this. It prompted, which I'm been told by the AI experts is key, learning how to prompt better and better and better. So I prompt it and then say, you know, please check, you know, what are my risks and what are the biggest things I have to, and what are the key points? And it gives me a 1-page overview, and I can go, okay, great. If I read the whole document, I've read it, but what I've got is the
key points.
It is the key points.
Yeah.
Now, if I send it to my attorney, I can now say to my attorney, this is what I have looked at. I've read the document. This is what I've looked at. Please ratify for me and tell me why. Because I actually trust my attorney more than I do AI.
You should.
Because I can go back to my attorney and speak to my attorney
Yes.
for advising me nonsense.
Wrongly.
Whereas AI, who am I going to go back to?
Nobody.
And I think those are some of the risks, really, is that when you get too involved in that type of stuff, who are you going to go back? Well, when it doesn't work, you're going to say, oh, but I don't know, Lloyd told me. Who's Lloyd? Oh, Lloyd, what's it? Claude, Lloyd, Arthur, John. They're all out there somewhere, and they will be more and more.
Will be. Will be. For sure.
So what's his name? Claude, my attorney from.
No, and I mean, that's the funny thing.
What's your comeback?
No, you don't have one.
You know,
and I was actually on the episode with Nicole, I was speaking about it because I've now also discovered that people are actually using AI as their therapists, telling them the problems. This is what then it gives it feedback and da 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 da. And
wait until the lawsuit comes because AI told them to go do this, and someone committed suicide or something. And
it's already happened. It happened. I think it was last year. And then there's even a thing now
there was that bullying case where someone went and shot someone or something. I remember. And
no,
and now they're all upset. It's like,
no, but there was actually a kid
who are you going to go after
who had put in the prompts, and essentially what he did was
suicide prompts. How would you commit suicide?
Yeah, and write me the letter and all of that. People were then trying to hold OpenAI accountable and saying you should have then alerted. OpenAI should have alerted the authorities or whoever.
How do they even know?
They don't, because this thing is getting, how many prompts are being put into ChatGPT daily?
Not every second.
Every second of every minute there's something new.
So,
and that's crazy.
So if you take that to business context, just take it into legal. Who are you going to go after?
Nobody.
For bet. Whereas if you are using a lawyer or a law firm, and I have no doubt that the law firms and the accounting firms are using AI, and they should be.
They've said they are. It helps them with those draft
speed of efficiency. Now, instead of being able to sell 48 hours in a day, they can sell 448 hours in a day because
now they're eating.
So there's those type of things that I like. For me, my brain goes, yeah, well, who would I go back to and say, but you gave me bum decisions? It's like, AI is, you can use it for lots of medical stuff, and it'll get more and more and more. So when you go there, well, I trust my doctor. Why? Because I've been going to my doctor for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
He knows.
You've seen the things.
So great. I could take all that stuff maybe and put all my medical records into my profile. So that goes back to do that. But the thing is if I go on AI and say, now it's relying on me saying these are my symptoms.
Yeah, and you can lie.
And AI may not come back and ask me the questions.
That's going to be like,
sure? You got this. Cut off your left toe.
Dude, okay. Like you have a very rare disease here. Now what?
And then you realize that you forgot the difference between your left and your right.
Now you got an amputation you don't need.
So yeah, I mean, I think we can have a lot of fun talking about this sort of stuff. And on the one side, it can be really amusing. On the other side, it can be quite scary in terms of where are we going? Reality is it's going where it's going.
Yeah, but it's not stopping.
We still, I think this is just the most amazing friggin' thing that people might forget, is we can still choose how we use it or don't use it, or to what level we want it to affect us or not affect us.
It's the same as everything else in life.
Correct. We have a choice.
That's so weird. This choice thing, I never knew that it existed, because when I look at social media, it's like social media is ruining my brain. Social media is making me lazy.
Well, get the friggin'
social media came into your house, knocked on the door, and said, "I'm taking over."
What? It's like scammers.
The scammers took
the scammer who took your money.
Damn.
But isn't that goes back to it? People are getting dumber because we're lazy, and then it's much easier to not take responsibility and to blame. And I'm the one that did this. It's making me lazy. No, it doesn't have to make you lazy. Turn it off.
It's very easy. Close your laptop or delete the app.
Correct.
You don't need to have the app on your phone, but because you want to be involved.
The world of stupid.
Thank you guys for watching.
That's fun. Enough.
Hey, we can keep going.
No,
What you got?
I got work to do now.
Guy's gonna go play on AI. See you guys next week.